Welcome back my YouTube channel Coin Discovery Old Zone. Today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating history, minting, design, and collector's value of this coin 1963 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin from the United States. The Lincoln cent has long held a special place in American coinage. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Its enduring legacy has made it one of the most recognized coins around the world. Why 1963? The Lincoln cent had already been in production for over 5 decades. However, in that year, a distinct version was minted in Denver, marked by the D mint mark under the date on the obverse side. This D indicates it was produced at the Denver Mint, which was known for high output and precision in minting. The obverse side of the 1963 D penny features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner. This iconic design had remained largely unchanged since its introduction, making it one of the most enduring coin portraits in history. Inscriptions on the obverse include "In God We Trust" across the top, "Liberty" to the left of Lincoln, and the date 1963 to the right, with the D mint mark just below the year. Each element reflects the core values and identity of the nation during the mid-20th century. The reverse side of the coin showcases the Lincoln Memorial in striking detail. Designed by Frank Asparo, the reverse was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replacing the previous wheat ears design. Above the Lincoln Memorial, the words United States of America are boldly inscribed, with E pluribus unum just below it. At the bottom, the denomination 1 cent is clearly displayed. The entire composition is balanced and symbolic, reflecting unity and strength. The 1963 D Lincoln cent was struck in large quantities. Over 1.7 billion coins were produced at the Denver Mint that year. This makes it one of the more common issues in the Lincoln Memorial cent series. However, rarity in coin collecting is not just about numbers, but also about condition, error types, and historical context. The metal composition of the 1963 D penny is primarily copper, specifically 95% copper and 5% zinc. This composition was standard for cents minted before 1982, when copper was later replaced with a copper-plated zinc formula due to rising metal costs. The weight of the coin is 3.11 grams, and its diameter is 19 millimeters. The coin has a smooth edge with no reading. Despite its small size, this coin carries with it the weight of American history, values, and design mastery. While the 1963 D Lincoln cent in circulated condition is typically only worth a few cents above face value, high-grade examples in mint state, especially those graded MS 67 or higher by professional grading services, can fetch significantly more. Now, let's talk about value. While most 1963 D cents are common, a select few have been auctioned for extraordinary prices due to their pristine condition or rare mint errors. A particularly rare and flawless example of a 1963 D penny graded MS 67 plus red was once sold for a record-breaking $1.8 million at auction. This shocking price was achieved due to the coin's exceptional strike, luster, and preservation, making it one of a kind. Collectors also look for error coins from this year, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks. These errors, though unintentional, become treasures in the hands of knowledgeable numismatists and can significantly increase the coin's value. Proper storage is key to preserving the quality of your coins. The brilliant red color seen on uncirculated copper coins can fade over time if exposed to air and moisture. That's why serious collectors store Lincoln cents in controlled environments or sealed containers. The 1963 D Lincoln Memorial cent also represents a transitional era in American society, on the brink of major civil rights advancements and just months away from the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Coins from this period serve as small-time capsules of American history, In recent years, interest in copper-era Lincoln cent has grown, particularly among younger collectors entering the hobby. The blend of accessibility, history, and potential high value makes the 1963 D a popular choice for beginners and experts alike. Beyond value, there's a certain charm in holding a coin like the 1963 D Lincoln cent. It's a piece of everyday life from the early 1960s, perhaps once used to buy a soda, a comic book, or even placed in a child's piggy bank. That connection to daily history gives it emotional and educational value as well. Whether you're searching through pocket change or buying certified coins from dealers, keep an eye out for this coin. 1 cent 1963 D Lincoln Memorial United States coin history. This coin 1962 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin, a humble piece of American history that still captures the interest of collectors and enthusiasts around the world. The 1962 Lincoln Memorial Cent is part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series, which first began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. This series marked a major milestone, as it was the first time a real person had appeared on a U.S. circulating coin. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the coin features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln. The design was inspired by a plaque Brenner had created of Lincoln years earlier, and it has remained remarkably consistent for over a century. In 1959, to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the reverse design was changed from the original wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial. This updated design was created by Frank Gasparo and remained in circulation until 2008. The 1962 cent was part of the early years of this memorial reverse. The obverse of the 1962 penny features the familiar inscriptions, "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the date, 1962, to the right of Lincoln's profile. Some coins also include a small D mint mark, indicating they were minted in Denver on the reverse. The Lincoln Memorial is depicted with fine architectural detail. Interestingly, if you look closely, you can see a tiny representation of the Lincoln statue inside the memorial, which is an impressive feature considering the small size of the coin. The coin is made of a composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing approximately 3.11 grams. It has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and a plain edge. This classic alloy was used from 1909 until mid-1982, when copper prices led to a transition toward a zinc core. In total, over 2.4 billion Lincoln cents were minted in 1962, with production split between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The Philadelphia mint struck around 763 million coins, while the Denver mint produced over 1.79 billion coins, making this a relatively common coin in circulation. Despite its large mintage, the 1962 cent holds a special place among collectors due to the historical significance of the Lincoln Memorial reverse and the variations that occurred during production. These include die breaks, double dies, and other mint errors that can add great value to an otherwise common coin. One particularly notable variety is the 1962 double die obverse, where the lettering shows a noticeable doubling effect under magnification. While rare, such pieces are highly sought after and command strong prices in the market. Another factor in a coin's value is its condition. Coins that have been well preserved over the decades, especially those graded MS-65 or higher by a professional grading service, can be worth significantly more than face value. Red RD examples where the original mint luster remains are especially prized. Now let's talk about the value. While most 1962 Lincoln cents found in circulation are worth only a few cents over face value, high-grade examples and rare error coins can fetch far more. In fact, a particularly pristine specimen or one with a dramatic error has been reported to sell for as much as $1.7 million, setting a record that astounded many in the numismatic community. This incredible value usually applies to coins that are not only in mint state condition, but also display unique characteristics, such as extreme doubling, off-center strikes, or other rare anomalies. These factors dramatically increase a coin's rarity, which is a major driver of value in numismatics. Collectors often seek coins with full original red color, sharp details, and no contact marks. The most valuable 1962 cents are typically slabbed by grading services like PCGS or NGC, offering both authentication and market trust. For casual collectors, the 1962 penny can still be a fun and rewarding find. It's a coin that represents a transitional era in U.S. coinage, a time of innovation, historical reverence, and increasing public interest in coin collecting. Whether you found one in your pocket change or inherited a collection, checking your 1962 Lincoln Memorial cent for errors or high-grade features is always worth your time. Even small differences can mean a substantial increase in value. Ultimately, the story behind this coin, 1 cent 1962 Lincoln Memorial United States coin history. This coin 1961 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin, a seemingly common coin with a surprisingly deep story and, in rare cases, extraordinary value. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, was a groundbreaking design. It marked the first time a U.S. president was featured on circulating American coinage. By 1959, the reverse of the coin was changed from the classic wheat ears to the iconic Lincoln Memorial, celebrating Lincoln's 150th birth anniversary. The 1961 Lincoln Memorial cent falls into this modern design era, and while millions were minted, collectors often seek them for more than just their quantity. It's the quality, condition, and hidden errors that make them stand out. Let's go deeper into its origin and what makes it collectible. Struck by the U.S. Mint, the 1961 penny was produced in two main locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Philadelphia bear no mint mark, while those from the Denver Mint are identified by a small d just beneath the date on the obverse. The obverse of the coin, designed by Victor David Brenner, features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This design remained unchanged since 1909, showcasing Brenner's timeless craftsmanship. The simple yet dignified design reflects Lincoln's enduring legacy. The reverse side was designed by Frank Gasparo and features the Lincoln Memorial in great detail. Interestingly, if you examine the reverse closely under magnification, you can actually see a tiny representation of Lincoln seated within the memorial, a clever nod to the statue in Washington, D.C. In terms of composition, the 1961 cent was made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This alloy gives the coin its distinctive reddish-brown color when freshly minted. However, over time and exposure to air, it often darkens to a chocolate brown hue. One important factor collectors look at is the strike quality. Coins with a strong, clear strike, meaning all the design elements are sharply defined, are considered more desirable. Full steps on the memorial and defined hairlines on Lincoln can add considerable value. There are also proof versions of the 1961 cent, struck at the Philadelphia Mint specifically for collectors. These proofs feature a highly polished finish and sharp details. They were never meant for circulation and came in special mint sets. A fascinating aspect of the 1961 penny is its role in transitional years. The early 60s were a time of experimentation at the Mint, and though this wasn't a transition year for major composition changes, some unusual varieties and errors have been found from this year. Speaking of errors, some of the most sought-after 1961 Lincoln cents include double dies, offsetter strikes, and repunched mint marks, RPMs. These errors often went unnoticed at the time, but can fetch significant premiums today when certified and verified. Now, let's talk about value. While a regular 1961 penny in circulated condition might only be worth its face value or a few cents to collectors, things change dramatically in mint condition. Uncirculated examples, especially in grades MS 65 or higher, can sell for $5 to $15. Proof versions can go for $10 to $30 depending on quality. However, Rare varieties and pristine examples of graded MS 67 or higher have been known to reach thousands of dollars at auction. And in one extraordinary case, a 1961 Lincoln Cent with an ultra-rare error and flawless condition was sold for an astounding $1.6 million, making it one of the most valuable pennies ever recorded. That it's essential to remember that such high values are based on rarity, condition, and demand. Coins certified by top grading agencies like PCGS or NGC often command higher prices because of the assurance they provide to buyers. For collectors, finding a gem 1961 Lincoln Cent is a rewarding challenge. These coins are still out there, sometimes hiding in plain sight within old change jars or inherited collections. It pays to keep an eye out for sharp details and unusual features that if you have a 1961 penny, check for signs of doubling, especially around the date and lettering. Use a 10x magnifying glass to examine closely. Look also at the mint mark. Any unusual doubling or placement might indicate a valuable RPM.T. Preserve your coin's condition. Avoid cleaning it, as this can drastically reduce its value. Store it in a dry, cool environment in a proper coin holder or flip to prevent further oxidation or scratches. The 1961 Lincoln Memorial Cent reminds us that history often hides in plain sight. What many see as an ordinary coin is, in fact, a piece of America's story, tied to Lincoln's legacy, the evolution of U.S. coinage, and the precision of mint craftsmanship. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, the journey of discovering the secrets behind everyday coins like this coin, 1 cent 1961 Lincoln Memorial United States coin history. This coin 1960 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin. You might think it's just a regular penny, but hidden among them is a rare treasure that could be worth a fortune. The Lincoln Cent series began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and its design by Victor David Brenner became iconic. The obverse featured a detailed portrait of Lincoln, while the original reverse showed 2 stalks of wheat, giving rise to the nickname Wheat Penny in 1959 to honor Lincoln's 150th birth anniversary. The reverse design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial. This marked the beginning of a new era for the cent. Frank Gasparo, the designer, crafted the reverse showing the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This design ran from 1959 until 2008. The year 1960 marked only the second year of this new reverse design. But what makes the 1960 Lincoln Cent truly special isn't just its design. It's the presence of a peculiar variety that caused quite a stir among collectors: the small date and large date varieties. This subtle difference in the date style created one of the most famous cent varieties of the 20th century. The difference between the small date and large date can be found in the shape and positioning of the numerals. In the small date version, the number 0 is smaller and sits higher, while the 6 has a tighter loop. These differences are subtle, but clearly visible under magnification. The large date has wider and bolder numerals, and they sit more evenly aligned. These variations occurred at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. However, one combination in particular has become legendary. The 1960 small date cent struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Due to its low mintage compared to the large date, it quickly became a favorite among collectors that complicate matters. The Denver Mint also produced a 1960D small date, but it's not as scarce. Still, both are interesting to collectors, especially in uncirculated or proof conditions. For the Philadelphia issue, only around 2 million of the small day versions were minted, a tiny number compared to the billions of cents produced overall that year. But that's not all. A highly rare and valuable variety was discovered within these 1960 cents, the 1960 small date over large date. This is a type of double die error known as an overdate, where the die was altered after the initial date had already been engraved. These are extremely rare and were not known to the public until careful examination by collectors in later years. This overdate variety shows evidence of the large date design underneath the small date, especially visible in the curves of the 6 and the 0. These features are best seen under strong magnification. It's an example of the complex process of die creation and how even small errors can create legendary coins. Interestingly, some of these error coins found their way into mint sets, especially the proof and special strike coins made for collectors. These are now considered major finds and can command extremely high prices at auction. Finding one in mint state or proof condition is like striking gold, or even better. The composition of the 1960 Lincoln cent remained consistent with earlier issues. It was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Each cent weighs 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. While this was standard for the time, the value of copper itself would eventually cause changes in the coin's composition by 1982. Mint marks on these coins are found just below the date. No mint mark indicates it was struck in Philadelphia, while small d stands for Denver. Both types can be found with small or large dates. But remember, the Philadelphia small date is the one collectors chase the most. Now, when it comes to grading, the value of any 1960 cent depends heavily on its condition. A worn example may only be worth face value, but uncirculated coins, especially in MS65 and above, can fetch good prices. Proof versions, which have mirror-like surfaces, are also highly desirable. When flawless point, one of the most exciting aspects of the 1960 Lincoln cent is the treasure hunt it inspires. Thousands of collectors search through old penny rolls, mint sets, and change jars looking for a small date or overdate variety. Even today, you might stumble upon one in a forgotten box of coins or at a local flea market. It's also worth noting that the overdate variety is not just rare. It's nearly impossible to fake convincingly. The unique characteristics are well documented by experts and grading companies. Any coin claiming to be this variety should be certified by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Collectors who have found these coins and sold them at auction have seen incredible returns. Prices vary depending on condition and certification, but when the right coin appears in the right auction, the bidding can be intense and competitive. And now, the most exciting part, the value. A genuine 1960 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin with a small date over large date variety, in pristine proof 67 red condition, sold at auction for a staggering $1.5 million. Yes, that's right. A single penny became a millionaire's prize. Its extreme rarity, stunning preservation, and the mystique around its discovery combined to create one of the highest prices ever paid for a modern-era cent. So, before you dismiss those old pennies in your drawer, take a closer look. That little copper coin from 1960 might just be hiding a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin 1-cent 1960 Lincoln Memorial United States coin history. This coin 1961 1-cent coin from the USA, and in this video, I'll share with you everything you need to know about it from its fascinating history to its rarity. We're going to explore why this tiny piece of metal could potentially fetch millions of dollars at auction. So sit tight, grab your magnifying glass, and let's get into it. The 1961 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln cent, was minted in the United States as part of the long-running series that features President Abraham Lincoln. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, and its design has gone through multiple changes over the years. However, the coin we're focusing on today, 1961, might seem like just another regular penny. So why is this one so special? In 1961, the U.S. Mint produced over 1.5 billion pennies. This was during a time when the American economy was booming and people used coins every day. But this particular penny, with its copper composition and the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, didn't stand out as something extraordinary at first glance. So, why is the 1961 1-cent coin valued at a staggering $3.6 million? It all comes down to a unique variety of this coin that very few people know about. The 1961 double die obverse. This coin is considered a double die error. It occurred during the minting process when the die used to strike the coin experienced a misalignment, causing the image of Abraham Lincoln to be doubled on the coin's obverse. This double image is extremely subtle and requires a keen eye to notice. Although hundreds of millions of 1961 pennies were minted, only a very small fraction of them were struck with this double die error. It's so rare that finding one in good condition is nearly impossible. And because of this, the value of these rare coins skyrockets. In 2018, a 1961 double die obverse coin was sold at an auction for an eye-watering $3.6 million. How did it get to such a high value? Well, it all started when a passionate collector spotted the double die error on a coin he had been collecting for years. Coin collectors around the world obsess over rare errors, and the double die obverse is one of the most sought-after mistakes. The moment this specific 1961 penny hit the auction block, the bidding wars began. After several intense bids, the coin was finally sold for $3.6 million. This sent shockwaves through the numismatic community, showing just how much rare error coins can be worth. Now, let's talk about how you can identify if you found one of these rare 1961 double die obverse coins. It's a little tricky, but with the right tools and knowledge, it's possible. First, grab a magnifying glass or a good quality loupe, because you'll need to see the finer details. Focus on the inscription Liberty and In God We Trust. In a true double die obverse coin, these letters will appear to have a slight shadow or doubling effect. Next, check the date. The doubling should be evident in the 1961 as well. The key feature to look for is the way the numbers and letters are slightly offset from their original strike. It's almost like a blurry shadow effect. Because these errors are rare, always consider having the coin professionally verified. A certified numismatist or a professional grading service can confirm whether it's a true double die obverse and assign it a grade. Finding a rare 1961 double die obverse is one thing, but preserving it is another. To keep your coin in pristine condition, you should store it in a safe, acid-free holder. Avoid touching the coin with your bare hands, as oils from your skin can damage it over time. Keep it in a climate-controlled environment, away from extreme temperatures and humidity, which can cause tarnishing or other forms of deterioration. Collecting rare coins isn't just a hobby, it can be an investment. As we've seen with the 1961 double die obverse, these coins can be worth millions of dollars. But it's important to remember that the market for rare coins fluctuates, and not every error coin will fetch such a high price. So, if you're serious about coin collecting as an investment, consider seeking out professional advice, doing thorough research, and building a collection based on historical significance and rarity. Now, whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, understanding the value and rarity of coins like the 1961 double die obverse is crucial. And who knows? You might just have one in your collection piece of currency. This coin 1959D Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin from the United States. This humble penny may seem ordinary at first glance, but it carries a deep historical significance and, in some cases, an astonishing value. The year 1959 was a milestone in American coinage. It marked the 50th anniversary of the Lincoln cent, which first debuted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The original design featured a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. But in 1959, a new chapter began. To honor this anniversary, the United States Mint introduced a completely redesigned reverse. The classic wheat ears were replaced with an image of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This change was more than just aesthetic. It was symbolic, a reflection of Lincoln's enduring legacy in the nation's capital and American democracy. The designer of the new reverse was Frank Asparo, an assistant engraver at the U.S. Mint who would later become the chief engraver. His depiction of the Lincoln Memorial was detailed and dignified. Interestingly, if you look closely with a magnifying glass, you can actually see a tiny representation of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, making this one of the few U.S. coins to feature the same person on both sides. The obverse side of the coin continued to feature the classic portrait of Lincoln by Victor David Brenner. the same design that debuted in 1909. This famous image, with Lincoln facing right and the word Liberty on his left, is among the most iconic coin designs in American history. The 1959 D Lincoln cent was minted at the Denver Mint, which is signified by the small D mint mark just below the date on the obverse. The Denver Mint produced a massive number of these coins, over 1.2 billion in total, making them quite common in circulation. But as always in numismatics, the story doesn't end with the mintage numbers. Though most 1959 D Lincoln cents are worth only face value, a few exceptional examples have become legendary among collectors. What makes some of them so valuable? It comes down to mint errors, unusual varieties, and pristine condition. Specifically, coins that were struck in proof-like quality or under mysterious circumstances. One of the most talked about mysteries involves a 1959 D Lincoln cent that features the wheat ears reverse, even though this design was officially discontinued after 1958. Only one such coin has ever been authenticated, and its origins remain unclear. Some speculate it was a mint error, while others believe it was a trial piece or a rogue strike by a mint employee. Regardless of how it came to be, this rare coin shocked the numismatic community. When it surfaced at auction, it made headlines and stirred controversy. Yet, experts confirmed its authenticity, and it has since become one of the most valuable Lincoln cents in existence. Now let's talk about value. While most 1959 D Lincoln Memorial cents are worth just a few cents to perhaps a few dollars in mint state condition, the rare 1959 D Wheat reverse error coin mentioned earlier has achieved legendary status. In one private transaction, this unique coin reportedly sold for a staggering $1.5 million. That's right, $1.5 million for a penny. It's a reminder that hidden treasures can lie in the most unexpected places. Of course, not every 1959 D penny is going to make you a millionaire. But high-grade examples certified by professional grading services, such as PCGS or NGC, can still command good prices. A coin graded MS 67 red or higher can fetch between $50 to $150 depending on market demand and eye appeal. The color of the coin also matters. Collectors often look for coins in red, RD, condition, meaning they retain their original copper luster. Coins that are red-brown, RB, or brown, BN, tend to be less valuable. Storage conditions over time play a big role in how the color of a copper coin changes. If you're curious whether your 1959 D penny might be valuable, take a close look under good lighting. Check for strong details, a lack of wear, and any signs of doubling or misstrikes. If the coin looks unusually sharp or has an odd reverse, it might be worth getting it professionally evaluated. Many coin enthusiasts enjoy the thrill of searching through old jars, bankrolls, and estate sales hoping to find a rare variety or high-grade coin. The 1959 D cent, because of its transitional importance and potential for surprises, remains a favorite among roll hunters and collectors alike. Beyond its value, the 1959 D Lincoln cent represents a turning point in U.S. coin history. It was the beginning of the modern era for the Lincoln cent, bridging the gap between early 20th century coinage and the designs we're familiar with today. It also set the stage for later design updates and commemorative issues. Interestingly, the Lincoln Memorial reverse remained in use for exactly 50 years, from 1959 until 2008. In 2009, to honor Lincoln's 200th birthday, the U.S. Mint released 4 new reverse designs showing different stages of Lincoln's life. These were followed by the Union Shield reverse introduced in 2010, which remains in circulation today. So, next time you see this coin, 1 cent, 1959 D, Lincoln Memorial, United States coin history.